What is yoga? Yoga can appear to be a convoluted idea, or, in any event, a bewildering cluster of actual controls that transform apparently upbeat-looking individuals into cheerful-looking human pretzels. Significantly really vexing, a generalization exists in where the term yoga is inseparable from the religion, or some sort of bygone otherworldly conviction that forces one to leave their place of employment, sell their home and go live in the center of no place. In undeniable reality, yoga is an exceptionally fundamental thing in the event that you've had the chance to visit a country where it has been set up for ages. India, Japan, China, and others. It's actually rather, indeed, normal. The act of yoga returned toward the West in 1893 when one of India's praised masters, Swami Vivekananda, was invited at the World Fair in Chicago. He is currently known for having started the West's advantage in yoga. In a real sense, the word yoga comes from the Sanskrit expression yug, which implies to burden, tie, join, or direct one's consideration. Simultaneously, yoga can likewise infer ideas, for example, combination, association, and order. The consecrated sacred texts of Hinduism likewise characterize yoga as a unit of control, the sort of order that, as indicated by specialists Georg Feuerstein and Stefan Badian in their book Living Yoga, prompts inward and external association, congruity, and euphoria. Generally, yoga is most regularly perceived as cognizant living, of taking advantage of one's inward potential for joy. What yoga isn't? Here and there it's useful to comprehend things by what they aren't, particularly when managing a subject, similar to yoga, that is handily misconstrued. Creators and yoga researchers Feuerstein and Badian assist us with understanding yoga by mentioning to us what it isn't. Yoga isn't workout. While the facts demonstrate that yoga includes numerous stances, particularly in Hatha Yoga, these are simply proposed to cause individuals to connect with their inward sentiments. Yoga isn't an arrangement of reflection or religion the manner in which numerous individuals are misdirected to accept. Contemplation is just essential for the entire cycle of carrying ourselves into the domain of the otherworldly. What is the path of yoga? Practically all yogic science and reasoning states that an individual is nevertheless a section of a tremendous universe, and when this person figures out how to fellowship with this immensity, at that point he accomplishes association with something that is greater than him or this connection or taking advantage of something greater subsequently empowers one to walk the genuine way of joy. By streaming alongside the power, the individual can find reality. What's more, with truth comes acknowledgement. However, to accomplish acknowledgement, our words, contemplations, and deeds should be founded on truth. Individuals go to seminars on yoga and go to studios to learn new strategies in yoga, yet yoga instructor Tim Miller said that true yoga starts when leaving the studio. It's tied in with being alert and being aware of your activities. Various sorts of yoga. Yoga is turning into an increasingly more mainstream movement in the Western present reality. The quantity of spots holding yoga classes is on the expansion, and there are plenty of various kinds of yoga. With the decision of Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Power Yoga, Iyengar Yoga, Bikram Yoga, Vinyasa Yoga, and a lot more, it tends to be not difficult to get confounded. The distinction between the most mainstream kinds of yoga, so you can pick which type is appropriate for you. Hatha Yoga in Sanskrit Ha implies sun and that implies moon. This sort of yoga is a generally lethargic-paced, delicate kind of yoga, and is a decent spot to begin on the off chance that you are totally new to yoga and don't have the foggiest idea about any of the asanas. Like a wide range of yoga, Hatha Yoga means to join the psyche, body, and soul. Ashtanga Yoga is the kind of yoga that I practice consistently and implies 8 appendages in Sanskrit. It's a quick, exceptional style of yoga practice and depends on a reformist set succession of asanas, synchronized with the breath. Ashtanga Yoga can be actually requesting as you continually move, starting with one asana in the grouping then onto the next, so you'll see that it will improve your endurance just as your adaptability and strength. Force Yoga is a Western understanding of yoga and depends on Ashtanga Yoga. A Power Yoga class may not really adhere to the specific succession of postures like Ashtanga Yoga does, however it includes rehearsing a progression of stances ceaselessly at beginning. Iyengar Yoga. This sort of yoga depends on lessons by B.K. S. Iyengar and focuses on the right arrangement and type of the body. In contrast to Ashtanga Yoga, there is an accentuation on holding each posture for an extensive stretch of time instead of moving continually starting with one posture then onto the next. Ashtanga Yoga utilizes props, for example, squares and ties to help adjust the body into the various stances. Vinyasa Yoga implies breath-synchronized development and is another speedy kind of yoga, with an accentuation on relaxing. A training ordinarily begins with sun welcome and proceeds onward to more extraordinary extending. All through the training, each posture is offset with a counterpose. Bikram Yoga, also called Hatha Yoga, is drilled in a room warm to 105 degrees, with the dampness of around 40%. By and large, an arrangement of 26 distinct stances is worked on during a Bikram Yoga class, and the hot temperature assists with releasing muscles. Because of the high temperature, the vast majority sweat a great deal during class, and this assists with purging the assemblage of poisons. In case you're simply beginning or have never done any yoga, I suggest attempting a couple of various sorts of yoga to discover what you like best. Keep in mind, there's no standard that says you need to adhere to one kind of yoga.